In this video, we're going to look at price elasticity of demand, or EP for short. Now, price elasticity of demand measures the percentage change of the quantity demanded of a product, Q, due to a 1% change in the price of the product, P. To calculate price elasticity of demand, we use the midpoint formula. Now, to use the midpoint formula, we must define 2 points along the demand curve that we are looking as reference points to determine the price elasticity of demand for this product. Let's define point 1, which has a price of P1 and a quantity of Q1, and a point 2 with a price of P2 and a quantity of Q2. Now, to calculate price elasticity of demand, we subtract Q2 minus Q1 over Q1 plus Q2 over 2, all divided by P2 minus P1 over P1 plus P2 over 2. Different values for the price elasticity of demand represent different demand elasticities. In this table, we can see all of the possible elasticities that a product can have. If the price elasticity of demand for a product is 0, we say that the demand for that product is perfectly inelastic. This means that there is no change in the quantity demanded for the product as the price of the product changes. If the price elasticity of demand for a product is between 0 and 1, we say that the demand for that product is inelastic. This means that the percentage change in quantity demanded for the product is less than the percentage change in price of that product. If the price elasticity of demand for a product is 1, we say that the demand for that product is unit elastic. This means that the percentage change in the quantity demanded for the product equals the percentage change in the price of that product. If the price elasticity of demand is between 1 and infinity, we say that the demand for that product is elastic. This means that the percentage change in quantity demanded for that product is greater than the percentage change in the price of the product. And if the price elasticity of demand for a product is infinity, we say that the demand is perfectly elastic. The quantity demanded is undefined as the price of the product changes. Now, along a demand curve, there are also different elasticities, even though they are along the same curve. When the demand curve intersects the vertical axis, or the price axis, the elasticity of demand for the product is undefined. Therefore, the demand is perfectly elastic. At the midpoint of the demand curve, the price elasticity of demand equals 1, and the demand is unit elastic. And where the demand curve intersects the horizontal axis, or the quantity axis, the elasticity of demand is 0, and demand is perfectly inelastic. Now here is an example question. Suppose the quantity demanded for a product is 200 units, when its price is $8 per unit. Suppose the quantity demanded for the product increases to 250 units as its price decreases to $6 per unit. What is the price elasticity of demand for this product? Well, let's remember the midpoint formula. We first need to determine which point is point 1 and which point is point 2, so we can use the corresponding prices and quantities at each point to use the midpoint formula. In this case, I use 250 as quantity 2, 200 as quantity 1, $6 is price 2, and $8 is price 1. After plugging in the values to the midpoint formula, I have 250 minus 200 over 200 plus 250 divided by 2, all over 6 minus 8 over 8 plus 6 divided by 2. After simplifying the numerators of both of the fractions, I have 50 over 225 all over negative 2 over 7. Again, after simplifying into decimal form, I have the price elasticity of demand equals negative 0.222 over 0.286. This gives me a price elasticity of demand of negative 0.778. Note, while the price elasticity of demand is always calculated as a negative number, it should always be reported as a positive value. Therefore, with a price elasticity of demand of negative 0.778, but it must be a positive value, so we use the absolute value symbol, this product's demand is inelastic because its price elasticity of demand is between 0 and 1. Now what does this mean? This means that as the price of the product increases by 1%, the quantity demanded for this product decreases by 0.778%. Now, what are the factors that affect the price elasticity of demand? Well, first is the availability of substitutes. The availability of more substitutes leads to a more elastic demand for the product. Second is the portion of the household budget used for the product. The greater the portion of the household budget, the more elastic the demand for the product will be. Third is time. As time passes, more substitutes may become available and the product may no longer be needed. This leads to more elastic demand for the product. And fourth is necessity. The demand for a necessity tends to be more inelastic. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.